At 28, Alana Hutchins's number one priority was caring for her three young daughters, Ava, 9, Cora, 7 and 5-year-old Anna. The New Zealand police officer spent days off taking her little girls on trips across the countryside, playing outdoors and giving them as active a life as possible. So when the busy single mother from Hawke's Bay rapidly lost 10 kilos in the space of 2 weeks over Christmas in 2018, she gave it little thought, putting it down to stress from her hectic schedule. "I wasn't trying to lose weight, wasn't exercising any more than usual, but I felt fine so I just put it down to stress," she told Daily Mail Australia. But as weeks passed, Alana felt increasingly fatigued and during the first week of February 2019, she found a small lump in between the two lowest ribs on the left side of her torso. A Google search suggested she had a swollen spleen, often caused by a mild infection, and she made an appointment with her GP to get antibiotics. When blood tests showed no sign of infection, doctors ran a series of scans and admitted her to hospital for further investigation. "Looking back, I definitely felt more tired than I was letting on. I had a lot of symptoms, loss of appetite, going to the bathroom constantly, a lot of nausea," she said. "When my kids are sick, I can tell you when they last ate or went to the toilet down to the second, but I guess you just don't take care of yourself so well. You put 'em first." On Sunday morning, March 3, 2019, Alana received the devastating news that a large tumor was growing on her left kidney. "A specialist came in and asked me if I wanted the results sugar-coated, or given to me straight. They'd found a mass and they could tell it was cancerous without even needing to test it," she said. The growth was stage 2 papillary renal cell carcinoma, a type of cancer that develops inside the lining of the kidneys. The early symptoms most renal cancer sufferers feel can be easily attributed to everyday pressures, which causes people to dismiss warning signs and can lead to a delayed diagnosis. Tiredness and unexplained weight loss, both of which Alana experienced, can have relatively innocent explanations, but fever, blood in the urine and pain or lumps in the side should be reported to a doctor as soon as they are discovered. "I cried a little bit, but to be honest that was more because I could see how uncomfortable the doctor was while she was telling me," Alana said. Doctors scheduled emergency surgery for the following Thursday, leaving Alana just 3 days to notify her work and meet with lawyers to draw up a will to protect her beloved daughters Ava, Cora and little Anna. "It was surreal, a total blur. One minute I'm at work, playing with my girls, the next I'm in hospital about to have my organs removed. I didn't believe it. I was 28, healthy, with 3 young kids, I didn't feel sick enough to have cancer," she said. A 7-hour-long operation removed Alana's left kidney along with a huge tumor 11 cm wide and 15 cm long, and 20 cm of her bowel, leaving her with a straight scar of the same length across her lower stomach. After a week in recovery, the family were overjoyed when a post-operation scan confirmed Alana's cancer had been completely removed, and doctors scheduled checkups to monitor her condition over the coming months. But in late August 2019, days after celebrating her 29th birthday, the cancer had regrown aggressively in the bed of her kidney and spread to her uterus. It had advanced to stage 4. For people with stage 1 papillary renal cell carcinoma, the odds of surviving 5 years or longer are better than 80%. By the time the disease reaches stage 4, the 5-year survival rate drops to just 8%. "This cancer is so rare at my age, they can't even give me a predicted life expectancy," she said. "From the cases they have, some have lasted a year, and some haven't even made it to a year." After receiving the news, Alana's only thought was of leaving her young children behind. Treatment for Alana's cancer is complicated. Neither chemotherapy or radiation are effective alone, leaving her with no alternative but an experimental and expensive drug called sunitinib, a daily tablet which costs a staggering $10,315 AUD per month. While Australia and New Zealand have 2 of the highest rates of kidney cancer in the world, only behind the US, neither country has a screening program for the disease and funding is low in comparison to other cancers. Alana's aunt Lisa has started a fundraising campaign to pay for medication, which has received generous donations which will fund her treatment until the beginning of April 2020. Over the past 4 months the tumor in her kidney bed has shrunk by 6 cm, making her eligible to start rounds of chemo to halt cancer from spreading further. But doctors have told Alana they cannot cure her cancer, only slow the progression of her illness. Chemo will never cure it. It will slow it down but eventually the cancer will overpower the chemo and it will stop working, she said. In January, Alana took Ava, Cora and Anna on a trip to the Gold Coast in Queensland where they swam in the sea and played on the beach, making memories as a family. She hopes to take them around New Zealand to visit family and friends this year as she bravely continues her battle against cancer.